All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. Typically this would have been something that we would keep for the actual episode, but based on the things that have happened over the last 24 to 36 hours, it probably would not have made the cut, so I want to start with it. Um, Grant, there's a clip we always have where we say, Padre fans, how does it feel that the Dodgers are your dad?
Yeah, it's pretty solid
It's a
TikTok we
clip.
make every year.
Yeah, it's a clip that keeps on giving. Grant, what if I were to tell you that the Dodgers have done an ultimate troll job on not
Yeah,
only the
no, on the
Padres
San
but also the
Diego.
Mets, but
Yeah,
also the Mets.
elite troll jobs. I
Yeah,
believe they have two replica rings for Padres series. They have a
yeah.
Mookie
So they
Betts
have
replica ring and then a
well,
Freddie Freeman
they
replica
have
ring.
June 17th versus the Padres World Series replica
Yeah,
trophy
yeah, that
presentation.
I'm not exactly sure what that will entail if they're giving out.
And then the Tommy Edman bobblehead available is versus the Mets as well.
Ah, okay. So that's it. That one I like. Yeah, no, the promotion schedule, I would real quick say it's the greatest promotion schedule I've ever seen out of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
Stunning how good it is. How many things are like I I don't know this off the top of my head, but when Shohei had the decoy bobblehead, I think
Yeah.
it was being resold for like
Well,
the gold Otani decoy
yeah.
bobblehead was like
I'll
two to
just say
three
this.
thousand on eBay.
We have all seen the videos of the people who were like the line for getting into the Dodger Stadium that game with the
Oh
bobblehead.
yeah, no, I've never seen anything like it in my
This
life.
the bobblehead for the Freddie Freeman walk-off hit, that bobblehead that they have available will be worse than that. Mark
It's
my
going
words.
quadruple platinum. Oh
It's
yeah,
gonna be
it
worse
is.
than that line. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be awful. Just they have a Shohei 50-50
Yep.
bobblehead night.
Yep.
That's gonna be
There's
absurd.
just going to be
Uh
devious numbers of well, now we have to replace your Walker Bueller and all those
oh,
guys, so
you're so correct.
we have to get
You're
you
actually
these bobbleheads.
oh, the Walker Bueller World Series bobblehead this year would have been. You just made me sad just to even think about there will not be a Walker Bueller
Yeah.
World Series celebration Dodger bobblehead. That did just make me a little bit sad. But overall, uh great troll jobs, elite troll jobs with the amount of championship stuff they have specifically for the Padres series. But yeah, Dodgers, they will find a way. They will find a way to get the trolls out. I'll be honest. Ever since that, I think it was either after game one of a series or it was like the first game regular season game at San Diego when they put the Kershaw crying thing up. I don't remember if
That
that was a
I thought
regular
that was
season
the
game or
the end
playoff.
of I thought that was the end of 2 seasons ago when they did that.
That could have been it. But
That's what I remember. Since the night it was
ever
a night
since
game late in the season.
ever since they put that crying Kershaw thing up, it has been downhill for San Diego. Absolutely downhill. I also saw that Jackson Merrill will now
Oh,
never eat raw fish again for the rest of his life because the Padres missed out on Roki Sasaki. And I'm not sure if that's the long term strategy you want to employ to get future Japanese players. But hey,
yeah, I
Padres,
did
you do
also see
you.
though that
Um,
there's a little kerfuffle, a little infighting within the Padres for why they didn't land Roki Sasaki, and
Oh yeah, no,
that's
there's a
beautiful to hear.
lawsuit. They are suing themselves. Two sides of the Padres. I believe it's like one side of the former owner's family wants ownership, but the other side is like, I actually know what I'm doing. I should be the owner or something along
Yeah,
those lines. They're upset over who got the ownership after their owner passed away a couple years ago. But yeah, the Padres are going to keep on doing Padres stuff. Um, be my guest. It makes me happy to see how they react. Like Manny was like pissed off at the front office for not signing anyone. Is just like, dude, Manny, you and like Tatis and Holy shit.
Luis.
Bogarts make up, I think, like 1.1 billion, just three of you. So where's the money coming from, Manny? That's my question. Where do you want this money to come out of? But
And you
yeah,
still got Josh Hader too.
no, they do not. He's on the
Oh,
Houston
yeah,
Astros. But yeah, no,
forgot about
Padres,
that.
they're a disaster dump truck. Never forget they traded, I believe, their number 2, 4, 5, and 26 prospects for Tanner Scott last deadline, and he is now a Dodger. So yeah, Padres going to keep doing Padre things, but in classic LA nature, uh, I have never been this back in on the NBA in my life. I would like to announce a statement to the Waterboy faithful. I am officially back in on the NBA. I am
And
back.
that's what we start the episode with, right there.
Yeah. We're gonna get to intro in a second, but you would, well, I'll just say in the episode. But without further ado, wait, bad snap. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to one of the greatest episodes of the Waterboy podcast you'll ever listen to in your life. Today is episode 290, and Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker. We'll get into it. We got a lot to discuss about the move, but I would say it is the craziest trade, at least in our lifetime. The only comparable move, I was saying it was when out of just complete thin air, Paul George trade to the Clippers, and then a minute after Kawhi signs to the Clippers. I'd say that was the only other like
Common,
shock
but it's a combo.
value. Yeah. That one's,
It's two separate
it is
moves.
very different too. And also going into that move, a lot of the focus was on how Chris Broussard a week before said breaking hilarious. This was breaking news. Chris Broussard tweeted breaking news: Kawhi Leonard has selected the Los Angeles Lakers as his number one destination. He did not pick the Lakers, but just Broussard tweeting out Kawhi has the Lakers as team number one. That was enough to break the internet. I thought Kawhi was a Laker for about a week, but that Clipper stuff comes out just completely out of nowhere. No one saw that coming. And then the only other like move I would say was KD to the Warriors, but that's a free agent signing. And
Yeah.
it isn't the same just because apparently, well, Luka had no idea he was getting traded. Can confirm that part. Anthony Davis, we can get into it a little bit. I am if you're under the impression that nobody, AD or LeBron or none of them had any inkling at all, I think it's a little crazy to think.
Well, my one thing
Uh,
is AD was hurt. Like originally, he didn't play in the game that night, and I was like, oh, maybe it's because of like the trade kind of stuff. But he's been hurt. He's had an abdominal injury for the
uh,
past like couple days, past
that's true.
week.
But do you know what Luca's injury? I don't know if Luca's healthy for another month. Uh,
Well, according to this post said I just saw a post that said he could play as early as like the Pistons game.
well, he's probably healthy now that he got traded. But I mean, even then, like if you have a Luka Doncic, keep in mind, folks, he turns 26 in 25 days. So he's 25 years young, about to turn 26. We make countless NFL posts, best top 10, 25 and under. Luka quite literally is 25 years old, and he is at worst the third best player on the planet at worst. So, long-term sets, the Lakers just did what the Lakers do throughout the history of the franchise. They just get
You know what I also heard, by the way,
superstars.
is that the president of the Jazz, when they were going through the trade, like the GM, all that stuff, had no idea that AD and Luka were even involved in the trade until an hour before it was processed.
Oh yeah. The third team involved here. Let me
Yeah.
get his name real quick. Danny Ainge with the Utah
Yes.
Jazz. He
Yeah.
allegedly had no clue that Luka and AD were being traded, but he was like, "Oh, you guys are going to trade? I can get Jalen Hood Jafino. Get me in on this trade." I don't know why Utah wanted to get involved, but hey, what's going on in Utah? We'll ask that question forever, Wendy. But back to Luka AD. I think Luka was completely had zero clue he was getting traded. I don't even think
It'd
he
make no
was.
sense for him to be aware of it at all. It'd make no sense.
Yeah, and I know that at least Luka had no idea because the Lakers did not ask Luka's agent at all if he would resign. Now, Luka hits free agency not this offseason, but the offseason after. So like 13, 14, 15 months from
With
now,
a
he
super, it
hits.
would have also been Supermax eligible, which now
Yeah, would have
he's
been
not.
Supermax eligible if he was on the same
Mavs.
team, but
Yeah.
no, that doesn't work anymore. So like in a way, the Lakers just got like a generational superstar who for his I believe it's his second contract. He or no, this is gonna be Luka's third contract. Remember, folks, you should learn to shoot a basketball and dribble. You get a lot of money really quick if you're good in the NBA. Luka's about to hit contract number 3. And when that happens, Lakers get an $100 million discount because he's not eligible for the Supermax anymore. But yeah, no, Luka's a 25-year-old superstar, global phenom, fits in perfectly to the LA marketing plan right now of just getting global superstars like Otani. But I would also just say, putting on the tinfoil cap, going a little conspiracy mode, I do believe that there are bigger things involved here with this trade because when we
You think
first saw
there's bigger
the
things afoot?
Luka
Grander
trade,
plan?
I was like, this has to be. Everybody thought Shams got hacked. I've never seen a move in sports where everybody believes the reporter was hacked because it's just so it makes absolutely zero sense. Mikal Bridges, like 4 months ago, got traded for 5 first-round picks. Like
Yeah.
Luka got traded for 31-year-old glass cannon and then a 1 first, and then the Lakers got a second back from the Mavs. How? How are the Lakers receiving any picks at all from this?
Dude, I honestly, the whole trade is one of those things. Like, I mean, not even joking. Does it? If David Stern was
It would have been
like,
blocked. Yeah.
it would have been blocked instantaneously. Like, if you guys are in a dynasty league, by the way, if you ever are talking about a hands-off like league manager, Adam Silver is the definition of that. Okay, Adam Silver is letting all the
Commissioner.
trades go through. Commissioner, yes.
Yeah.
Adam Silver is letting all the trades go through.
Yeah, no, like they're letting everything fly. And I would just say, though, it's been a big topic of discussion this season. NBA ratings are down, ratings are down. And, it's been a debate like, oh, is the 3-point ruining basketball? People talk about that. Like at the end of the day, it's just like the league isn't exciting. Like the
It's
Celtics
not
are
excited
so
to the
much better
playoffs.
than every other team that it's just like either the
Well,
Celtics
that
win the ship or they lose it. Like no one is going to just beat the Celtics off of sheer
I
willpower. The
think it's
Celtics will either
I think
lose it
it's
or win
that,
it.
but like for a casual fan like me or you, right? Like maybe, if we're going in person, like obviously they'll be like, oh, cool, we can go to a basketball game in person. Like maybe we'll catch a random basketball game if you're out at a bar or something, right? But we don't actively really say, hey, the Lakers are playing tonight. I'm going to watch this game 100%. And that's really the way it is until the playoffs, like when the games actually matter. And I was talking to one of my friends about this, and I was like, you know what? Like the reason why, like obviously I pay more attention to the Dodgers than I do the Lakers. And
Yeah, and I
even
think
then, I'm not
a
watching every
majority of
Dodger.
LA sports fans care more
Yeah,
about the
but
Dodgers and Lakers right
but
now.
the
It's
the
true.
point is, like, even then, I'm not watching all Dodger baseball games. To be honest, during the regular season, I'll probably pay attention to it, like on my phone, like score checking or something. But I'm not going to be watching the game. But when the playoffs come
No,
around,
I literally have
I
Dodger
sit down
games
and I
on in the
will,
background
yeah,
with.
I will sit down and I will watch every single Dodger baseball game in the playoffs. In basketball, it's kind of the same deal where, like, okay, once we get to the playoffs, I care because there's a sense of like urgency and that all these games matter. But when you have a longer season, like an 80 game season or 100, game plus game season, right? It gets to that
Oh
feeling where
yeah,
you're
no,
like,
scarcity
these
factor.
these these games feel like they don't matter as much. And on top of it, the NBA did the midseason tournament, and I don't think I've met a single person that actually
No one cares.
cares about it,
Yeah.
and that's another problem. So
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Adam Silver credit. He's like tried to do things with like mid-season tournament. Like he's tried to I guess, like radically change the NBA. Like, I mean, yeah, mid-season tournament, that is a radical change. We've never seen anything like that in American sports.
Reportedly, the Luka Doncic trade would have included Dalton Connect and
Oh
more
yeah.
first round picks, but
So it
Rob
started off,
Pelinka was able to convince Nico Harrison
yeah.
that was too much due to his conditioning concerns. That's crazy.
Oh, I don't think it was the conditioning concerns.
I just read that verbatim
I think, yeah,
from
that could
Kirk
be the
Goldsberry.
report. What happened was the Lakers side Palinka, they're like, we cannot have this. Rob Palinka's like, I cannot let the other 28 NBA teams know Luka's on the trade block. I'm not going to let that happen. So Rob Palinka was doing everything in his power, keep it under wraps. I'm not telling a soul about this move. But like, when I think about just a little bit more, there's some, well, first, there's a lot of history between Rob Palinka and Nico with the Mavs. So they first came into contact many, many years ago when Rob Palinka was representing this player by the name of Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant wanted to switch from Adidas to a new shoe brand. And Nico was the executive at Nike
Yep.
who led that push to get Kobe to sign with Nike. Also, Nico is most famous, though, for being the one to mess up Steph Curry. Yep. And he, I believe, had Seth Curry,
yes,
Steph's brother.
Called him Seth. Yes. And also said that he could not have his own shoe brand, by the way. Like, he had to use one of the prefixed Nike ones.
Yeah.
Could not have his own Curry.
No, yeah, they absolutely fumbled the Steph move. But regardless, Rob Pelinka and Nico, they've had a pre-existing relationship for decades now. And part of me believes that Nico is asking Rob for some type of trade. And apparently he offered, just threw out Luka, and Rob Pelinka responded, "You're kidding, right? Like, this is a joke, right?" No, it was not a joke, Rob. I think Rob picked that up pretty quickly. That
it's just it is absurd to me that this trade. Like, by the way, like, for reference, there's no way if you're listening to this podcast you weren't aware of the trade, and everybody.
Well, I mean,
everybody's
it's
aware.
So large to the point where like random ass people
the bigger point is like, there in my mind, like, I cannot remember a single trade where everybody actively, including Shams, who broke the news, were like, this is not a real post. Like, my phone got hacked, or Shams' account got
apparently
hacked.
Shams
thought his phone was hacked when he got the news that it was hacked.
It's like, dude, didn't you click the send tweet on the how? A lot to dive into there with Shams believing.
It's crazy to me that, like, if you're gonna move an asset like Luka Doncic, who I would say is
untradeable.
Untradeable, but is probably the most valuable player to be traded, period, over the last decade, if not longer than that. How you don't open that door to more than one team and just say, hey, we're negotiating any deals, everybody bring your best.
I think the Thunder still keep in mind, like 17 first round picks.
The ongoing thing that you and I have always said about Anthony Davis is he is glass man. He cannot stay healthy. Like, he's not like he's bad. Like, Anthony Davis is so an elite player, but he cannot stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, let's make this. I'm going to make this point clear. Anthony Davis is a NBA Hall of Famer. It's not that hard to make the NBA Hall of Fame. So it wasn't a hot take. That's kind of just true. Anthony Davis, when healthy, is elite. Like, this year, when healthy, I think he averaged like 33, 12, and like 3 blocks. He's elite when he's healthy. It's just, that's the problem. And I would say, in a way, Lakers, they're swapping a guy who misses time with another other than Joel Embiid, probably the other superstar and Kawhi. There's a lot of superstars who miss time. I just realized that. But
the difference is Luka misses time because he's fat.
Yeah, he's fat. And I want to make this also clear. Luka now has access to the second greatest personal trainer in the history of mankind behind Tom Brady. Okay. LeBron James is the second greatest longevity athlete
Yeah, I saw
performance in the history of mankind
I
other than
saw
Thomas
a
Edward Patrick Brady
I
Jr.
saw a meme and it was like the first time Lucas steps into an Erewhon and it's a picture of a scene from The Office where they're trying to feed Kevin broccoli
Oh
and
yeah.
Kevin's just like, he's just like smushing his
Oh yeah,
face
no,
like in
Luca's
disgust.
Luca's going to be on the Air One diet, the Air One tender greens, sweet greens diet. He has now been put on that diet, that eating meal plan. We'll call it his meal plan. Um, but I do think though, just for a very short temporary time with LeBron still in the NBA, uh, that's a whole other debate. I do think adding Luka may have bought another year of LeBron just because
Probably.
now he doesn't need to run the whole offense every single time he's playing.
Yeah.
If Luka is on the court, Luka is allowed to hold the ball
Now,
for 20 seconds and dribble between his legs
it's
40
it's
times. He's allowed
unfortunate
to do that.
because like if this was a dynasty, let's put it this way: if this was a dynasty league trade, granted, this was our dynasty league trade, the team that would be in the Lakers position, nobody in the league would be making trades with them for the rest of the year. Like, would not happen.
Oh
But
yeah.
the
Well,
Lakers,
also
the
that
Lakers,
would have been vetoed if that
yeah,
occurred.
the Lakers obviously though, like they can't stop here. Like they need to go and get a big man. Jackson Hayes cannot be the starting five. That cannot happen. It is not
Yeah,
possible
I
for him to
also
be the
believe he
starting center.
misses 3 games
Yeah,
a week out of the
yeah.
4 games they play. So that's another concern. No, yeah, they need a big man. This
Hey,
year, I don't
Lakers.
think the Lakers are
I've
doing
heard of
shit.
a guy, that might be a movable asset. I've heard he's a really great five, might be able to play the four. And a team that has him might be willing to move him. The Lakers should go and ask for Anthony Davis from the Dallas Mavericks.
Now that's something. Now, have we even
I mean,
considered? Hey, who says no? Dalton
who
Connect, 2 firsts for Anthony Davis. Who says
who
no?
says no?
Who
I don't
says
know.
no?
I don't know.
I mean,
I,
this Nico guy seems like a pretty interesting mind. I feel like he's open to a lot of manipulation. So, yeah, I think we should float that
yeah,
one back.
just see what's going on. Just test the waters a little bit.
I mean, real quick, if there was a team with Luka, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves is gone, Dalton Connect is gone, would that big three beat the Celtics? I still think no.
Probably not.
It's a long-term play. The great thing about the Lakers is they essentially just did when they got Magic and Kareem and they replaced Wilt with Kareem. They're kind of just doing
So
that right now. Like they just
I'm gonna
got their
go.
new face of the team for a decade.
I'm gonna go through some centers. All right, that I'm just gonna list some centers. See if any of these guys,
Yeah, and
might
two
be.
two massive NBA ball knowers right here. So
That's why
this should
I'm
be
listing
good.
them and having you answer me because
This
you
should be
still know more
great.
than me.
This should be great. I'm just gonna
Okay.
Google best
Zubac.
NBA centers. Keep going.
I have currently the leading blockers in the NBA, just as a
Okay.
general notion to look at. Obviously, Wembanyama leads that, then Walker Kessler, neither of which are going to be trade candidates. Brooke Lopez probably won't be tradable. You're not going to give him up.
Yeah, I think
Um,
we've also the Lakers and Brooke. Yeah, no, we're done here, Brooke. We tried that one out in like
Clint
2014.
Capella.
Um, Now I don't know this for fact at all. I'm literally just theorizing this in my mind because he looks like a pretty chubby guy. Can Clint Capella play more than 27 minutes a night?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah,
Yeah, you have Jackson Hayes.
yeah, Jackson Hayes off the bench. As backup center, Jackson Hayes will take that. We will take that.
It'd be ironic if the Heat held on to Jimmy Butler but traded Bam.
That would be
That'd be
stunning.
funny. That'd be funny.
I mean, Bam though is like kind of the perfect center.
Yeah.
You obviously
No,
can't
he
get
is.
Bam, but just
I mean, I
that type of defensive
Zubac off the Clippers is not
the
necessarily
Clippers wouldn't trade him to us.
yeah,
Clippers
nah.
are also pretty competitive right now. Like they're not a joke. The Clippers are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm also trying to like it can't be like DeAndre Ayton, like it can't be one of those higher profile guys. It's got to be a little lower than that.
I mean, they could probably get Ayton to be honest, but
I mean,
I don't think they'd want to do
Vucevic,
that.
Vucevic off the Bulls.
Uh,
They did just get, yeah. I
did
actually I don't remember who
Huss
they
get
just traded for.
traded?
They no. Zach Levine just got traded
Zach
with the
Levine
De'Aaron
got
Fox
traded.
trade. Yeah, I mean this guy Jokic seems pretty good.
He seems like a guy that could definitely like come in and contribute to a team, like off the
Yeah,
bench though, no, not
no,
a starter.
definitely. I mean it's a two
I
way
mean, it's
contract.
LeBron
G
James and
League and
Luka
being
we're
pulled up.
talking about. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, two-way contract.
Yeah.
Bronny should definitely get more minutes than Jokic if
I
both
mean,
were on the
I
Lakers.
know you don't love Valanciunas, but I don't think that'd be a horrible. I don't think that'd be a horrible
It wouldn't
trade.
solve anything if they got him.
It's just a depth big man.
One
Like
name,
I think he starts over Jackson Hayes.
one name I've been hearing that's had me interested is Nick Claxton out of the Nets. First, which makes him very interesting. He only has a 9.5 million salary, so the Lakers could fit that in quite easily. That is one thing about like NBA trades. Every team is very close to the salary cap already. Like, hey,
Yeah.
my point for that is Fred VanVleet makes $48 million a year. So do with that information what you will, kids. Start learning how to shoot free throws is what I'm trying to say. But a guy like Claxton come in and just be that defensive presence. I don't think they're going to do anything this, even if they got Nick Claxton. It's not like the Lakers are now going to win the NBA
No, but they are in the
finals. No.
They are in the playoffs though. So
Yeah. No, they're. I think Lakers are like 29-19 right now, so they're gonna
yeah,
make the
yeah.
playoffs. They're probably not gonna have to do the play-in like they have the past couple years. But
Hey,
yeah, no,
playoff
there are
run
many.
activated though.
Yeah, they're many pieces away. If I'll be honest, on a year one perspective, the Mavs this season much better contender
Well, no,
than the
I
Lakers.
mean, I also was telling you this. I like, there's no way in my mind that the Mavs make this move without, wanting to be in on another guy. Like, I was talking to some of my friends, and the general consensus was that although the Lakers, obviously when they trade the Mavs are in a better position to win like this year. Like, if they go out and
Yeah,
they go and
this
get
year,
Jimmy
yes.
Butler or Brandon Ingram, like they immediately could be a finals team. And you have AD, Jimmy, Kyrie.
Can't
Gafford, I
forget
guess, when he comes
Clay.
back, and
Can't
Blake
forget
Lively.
Clay.
I do forget Clay's on the team. Blake Lively too. Not Blake
Blake
Lively. What's
Blake
not Blake
Lively.
Lively. Not Blake Lively. What's Lively? I don't remember what his first name is.
Derek
Derek
Lively,
Lively.
the
Yeah,
center.
not Blake.
Yes.
Blake Lively is not a
Yeah,
center.
boy, did you send me on a whirlwind right there. I was like,
I keep
where
seeing
did that name
like the
pop?
TMZ posts of this whatever's going on with Blake Lively. So that was the first Lively name that came in my mind.
To be honest though, the fact that you remembered Mav Center was a Lively, I will give you.
Props.
You get
Give me
brownie
some
points
props
for
for
that.
that. Yeah,
No, no,
I remember
you.
he eviscerated the Timberwolves last
I'll make
off
this
season.
clear. I am an admitted NBA casual. As a joke to start this, I said I'm back in on the NBA, implying if Luka wasn't on the Lakers, I would be out on the NBA for like another 15 to 25 years. I am as casual as it gets. And so for you to pull a Lively out of your ass, I know he was in the NBA Finals. No, you're getting credit for that. I'm actually you're getting some
Finger
snaps for that.
snaps,
I was
finger
actually
snaps.
impressed you pulled that one out. If you whipped out like I can't believe the Mavs got rid of Maxi Kleber and the offensive impact he brings, popping outside, then I would have had to call the I don't know, SWAT on you because you're not someone has replaced you and you're not Everett.
That's
Unnamed intern
my
has
left
taken over your
earbud.
skin.
My left earbud's just giving you feeds of what to say.
Yeah, no, literally,
Just somebody's in my ear.
Yeah. But I do think on a long-term sense, like the Lakers are now relevant again. Like
No, yeah,
I was hearing Bill Simmons, Celtics fan, and he was just sitting there just like, what the hell? Like the Lakers just
listen.
find a way to save their franchise every 8
No, literally.
years.
I mean, the general consensus has been like, okay, when LeBron retires, the Lakers are screwed because they don't have picks and ADs.
We have no idea what we're gonna do. Like
that. But now with Luka there, that gets guys to come in, and I think like the biggest problem right now is obviously
Hey,
Austin
Kyrie
Austin
Irving
Reeves.
was willing to shut up because Luka was that
Yeah,
good. So what does that say about
Austin
Luka?
Reeves is going to be good enough to be the two. Like that's fine. I guess
Oh yeah,
maybe the one,
Austin.
but
Well, like here, this is the thing. Luka's gonna be. I'll let me. If Luka's on the court, he is not
yes,
only
he's
allowed to, but he is encouraged to ball hog, hold the ball for
yeah.
23 seconds of the shot clock, and do James Harden dribbling in between your leg for 25 seconds, and then you just
The
pull
greater
up.
point though
We
is
want him
like
to do that.
looking at the rest of the roster. Like, okay, maybe Dalton Connect ends up becoming a starter in the rotation at some point, instead of playing off the bench. But like, you need to get a new five, and right now you do probably need a four. So it's figuring that out.
Yeah, no, Vanderbilt sucks. I don't think the game plan with LeBron at the three and Rui at the four is going to work. I'm talking defense here.
Yeah, yeah,
Offensively,
yeah.
holy shit. Every problem you could have had with the Lakers just got solved and some.
Yeah,
Defensively,
defensively,
though,
everything just got marginally worse.
we may be looking like Kentucky basketball. We may be looking
I
like
would be
Alabama basketball.
I'd be
Just
taking the over in most of these games coming up pretty
it's
soon.
going to be over city for these games. And like,
Great if you're a fan. Great if you're a fan. Watch just for entertainment factors.
hey, for the casual men, for us, Everett, Adam Silver's looking out for us. Okay. So, if you're a Mavs fan, go crap out Adam Silver. I understand. You're completely warranted in
I'll say
doing that.
watching the you see the
If you're a
guys
Celtics
carrying.
fan, you are fair in crapping on Adam Silver right now because you did actually build like a super team and you're getting
Yeah.
punished right now because the Lakers are the Lakers.
Did you see the video of the guys carrying the casket outside of American Airlines
Yeah, no,
Stadium playing "See You Again"?
yeah, hey, and let's get let's go one deeper, Everett. Is there any way Jerry Jones was involved in this? Is there any way Jerry Jones was mad
A
that
Dallas
a
wide
Dallas
conspiracy.
Maverick basketball player is the face of my city? Is there any chance Jerry Jones was involved?
Well, I would say yes, if there was a replacement on the Cowboys that could take that face, except there's not because Dak
True.
Prescott's not and Mike is about to leave.
And CeeDee Lamb doesn't quite come across as that marketable. Have you ever heard CeeDee Lamb give an interview? I don't think I've ever heard him talk.
No,
I
no, I
don't
can't
I
say I've
cannot
paid attention
recall a
to that.
moment where he's spoken on camera. So yeah, I think Jerry knows CD's not quite his superstar. CD's lit, don't get me wrong, but Luka Doncic, that is global stardom.
Yeah,
Is
no,
there
literally.
any NFL player other than like Tom Brady with is Mahomes okay, is Mahomes as big as LeBron or Luka or Jokic or Giannis? I don't think.
I
To
honestly,
us in America, yes, but
I honestly think Justin Jefferson. And the
is
reason I
bigger
say
than
CD,
CD Lamb. Yeah.
well, yeah, but I
You think
mean,
he's the
like, is
biggest NFL star?
I, well, the reason, think about it this
I'm
way.
trying to think who
Think
even
about it this
would
way.
be for
The
international.
reason why
Like,
I say that is because Justin Jefferson, obviously, he's an elite player, but also every single kid around the world knows who Justin Jefferson is because the gritty's in Fortnite.
you're actually correct. No, you're actually correct. If you, yes. No, you're right. You're right. He
It's
is.
Justin Jefferson.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. It is him. He is the most globally well known NFL player.
NFL player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom
In
Brady
terms of
probably
you,
above him, but yeah.
yeah. Like, but if you were to pick out 15 random humans anywhere on earth, not in America, which NFL player are they most likely to recognize? It would be Justin Jefferson because of the
And
gritty.
then probably Mahomes, like right after
I
that.
think it would, yes, it should
If
be
not
Mahomes.
Mahomes above him, but like,
I mean, we're just getting into a larger debate now. Like, just the NBA has a cheat code when it comes to marketing players, just on so many different ways. Like, I say this just on basic front end, but just there's only 5 players per team in an NBA game. And in the NFL, there are 22 players on the field. So just one individual player, just numbers wise, has a larger impact on the game. So just there's less players to follow in the NBA. It's easier to get a
that,
superstar.
and also
But
the NBA is more so made up of by international. Like there's more
That as
international
well. But
players.
my favorite point of all of them is NFL players have to wear this thing called a helmet, and it makes it a little bit harder to recognize their face when they're playing. And I know that sounds trivial and stupid, but like Steph hits a three, you see his face. In the NFL, you don't always see their face. And like, I literally think that makes it harder. It sounds so childish and like, what the hell are you talking about? But like, I literally think them having to wear helmets, it's harder to recognize individual players.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put it. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, NBA just has a cheat code, and like what we were just like, Victor Wembanyama is bigger than any NBA or NFL player globally. I would say Wemby
Mobley's
and Luka is
probably
honestly,
fair.
I don't think it's that far off
Are
right
they
now.
beating Justin Jefferson's gritty though?
That's a cultural, the gritty, the gritty. I don't think anyone could beat the gritty.
But the
Is there
gritty
anything in
gritty
the history of
is like
mankind
Justin
that could beat the
Jefferson.
gritty?
The dab.
I get what you're saying. No, gritty was bigger. Gritty's bigger than the
Then the
dab.
dab.
Yes.
What about the
Yes.
floss? What was it? Flossing back in the Katie the shark, the left shark, whatever from that Super Bowl.
Oh, from Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But
What are
like,
those?
damn Daniel. Shit.
Damn Daniel.
All
Fuck.
right,
Now we're going down a rabbit hole.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Back to the NBA.
We're gonna
Back
start
to
going
Luka
down a rabbit
Doncic.
hole.
Uh, yeah, Luka Doncic is a Laker. It is the craziest trade in our life. A superstar of that magnitude, age 25 years old, being traded for a 31-year-old, and only one first, and then somehow the Lakers got a pick back. I've never seen
Also,
anything
all
like
without
that.
giving up like any major contributors to the team or future contributors to the team.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm like. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is excellent. Okay. Like he is elite. He is going to be an easy Hall of Famer, zero questions asked. But it's those injury concerns we talk about. It's just glass cannon, a day to Davis. Like he got these nicknames because he earned them because he never plays. It's not like they just gave him the nicknames just out of fun. Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting time. I would say though, how long until it's Luka's team and not LeBron's team? Because at least for this season, it's still LeBron's team. But if you were to tell me the second, not even the NBA Finals ends, the second the Los Angeles Lakers get eliminated from the playoffs,
I'll
Luka
be
is
honest.
now Luka Doncic GM.
I well, I mean it would be instead of Le GM, it'd
Luke,
be Lou GM. It
okay,
changes from La to Lou.
yeah, we're gonna
We're gonna work on it.
I know
We're
Laker
gonna work on
Twitter's
it.
already working overtime on a nickname, so they'll
Yeah,
get one
but I mean, I'll
soon.
be honest. I think by the end of the season, you're probably going to hear rumblings from fans at a minimum. Like LeBron might, because it's LeBron. LeBron might be like, "Yeah, no, this is Luka. Like, I'm just here to, be like his mentor kind of deal." But I think as a fan, you're probably going to hear people being like, "Yeah, no, like this is more Luka's team." By the end of the season, then next year, you're going to be like, "Okay, this is Luka's team, Luka's future,
Yeah,
et
I mean,
cetera, et
long
cetera."
term, no questions
And
asked.
then you'll
It's
have
it's
you'll have
his
like the
team.
three you'll have like the three or four guys that says no, this is Bronny Junior's team, and
All right, I'm just saying we're going one more step deeper here. Is Bronny the only untradeable player in the NBA? Is he the only untradeable player?
well, no, he's tradable if he's packaged with LeBron. So is the question
But on
is
that condition,
LeBron
do you get what I'm
tradable?
saying?
Is LeBron tradable?
Um, from a Laker perspective, he is not tradable. LeBron is only tradable if he makes himself tradable.
So then Luka or not Luka, Bronny is only tradable if LeBron makes himself tradable. That's the way it
Yes,
works. So if
but by
LeBron
that
gets
nature,
traded, Bronny's traded
okay,
with him.
because Bronny has to go through his dad's, that checkbox. Okay, my dad needs to sign off for me to get traded. Because of that, Bronny is in theory more untradeable than LeBron.
He is as untradeable as LeBron.
I'd say just slightly more. Just
I would
slightly
say that
more.
he is. Maybe you could say more because like a team wouldn't move him without moving
Bronny's
LeBron. But I'm
probably
saying
the
if LeBron is traded, Bronny is traded with LeBron as a part of the
no
package.
questions asked. That is
That's
true.
the only way that it happens.
It is.
I
You
am
give up.
thinking though, could you imagine a team calls you up right now? Could you imagine a team calls up the Lakers right now and they say, I don't know, let's use
Well, the
um
rumors that the Golden State Warriors have inquired about LeBron James to the Los Angeles Lakers.
let's say that you know, the Cavs call up. It's Evan Mobley, right? They're like, hey, you can have Evan Mobley. Okay. And they say, hey, Rob, you can have Evan Mobley, but we want Bronny as part of the package. I could just see LeBron doing the Thanos meme where he's dragging Gamora across, like throw her over the cliff, and it's just
Oh,
Bronny Jr.
okay.
just throw, throw him over the cliff to get Evan
Now,
Mobley.
Evan Mobley,
He's not tradable, but I'm
there's
saying
0%
if they
chance.
called him up saying we will give you him if we get Bronny, LeBron's throwing Bronny off the cliff.
Yeah, I do think
He's
LeBron's
he's going.
Gamora,
He's gonna
Bronny.
yeah, he's gonna throw it off the
Okay,
cliff.
because hey, I think in LeBron's mind right now, in his mind, he might even be. I still think LeBron is obviously he wants to win a championship. He is so like LeBron's camp put out over the offseason that Michael Jordan's steals were inflated. They literally leaked. Go watch the tape. He got 50 extra steals than what he actually earned. So LeBron's camp, Rich Paul, Clutch, that whole camp, their biggest concern right now with the rest of LeBron's career is how do we make it so he's the GOAT over MJ? That's what they're concerned about. And winning a championship is the easiest way to progress that debate. But yeah, if Evan Mobley was available for Bronny, he's getting Gamora'd. There's no other way to put it. Like, yeah, LeBron, you can go get what would that be? Fifth, five? Would that be his fifth ring?
He'd be
Yeah.
five.
Yeah, no, he's Gamoraing his son like it's nothing. And I think Bronny would even understand. Bronny would be
Bronny would
like,
understand.
Dad, it's Evan Mobley. You have to trade me. Like,
is the NBA the same way where as long as you've been on the team, you get a ring?
And now that we're going, yes,
It is.
as long as one game played, you get a ring. I think that's just all American sports, which is
besides
a good
NFL.
thing. Oh yeah, no, NFL don't let that shit fly. Hell no. Hell no. You know,
I think if you get
make
cut,
a Super Bowl ring.
If you get cut the day before the Super Bowl, no Super Bowl ring. I don't. I think you literally have to be on roster.
I
on
did not
Super
know
Bowl Sunday.
that.
I'm not. Hey, I don't. I have not confirmed.
Yeah, no,
like I haven't.
None
asked,
of this is.
But I'm just assuming.
Verified.
I'm assuming if you get cut the day before the Super Bowl, you don't count. You have to be on the Super Bowl roster.
Yeah, you're probably not. But I mean, it's saying Lakers are still asking around for trades. No surprise.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
they have to. But it's the craziest move I've ever seen in my life in sports.
Before we get in the NFL, Grant, I do want to just say this because I think it's just funny. Sport we don't talk about much, but the unnamed intern's probably his favorite sport in the world of UFC and boxing. Jake Paul is reportedly set to box Canelo, Grant. He's going to die.
Shut up. No, wait, what?
Dex Arrow.
Wait, that's massive.
I mean,
oh my God, it literally came out an hour ago.
An hour ago. I've been sitting on it. I didn't want to interrupt our thing. I've been sitting on it. But
Saturday,
he's going
July 5th.
Canelo might kill him.
Oh my God, the day after 4th of July, you have arguably the greatest Mexican boxer in the history of the sport with like De La Hoya, and then you just got Jake Paul versus Canelo day after 4th of July. What a day. What a day. The only way that event can be overshadowed is if the Lakers trade for Victor Wembanyama on the 4th of July. That's the only way. I was going to say
Joey Chestnut breaks his record again.
That's kind of a given. You know, that's
breaking
kind of
his own record.
No, he's broken his own record like 17 times.
When was the last time he did it though?
Like 2 years ago. Last year he ate in protest, I believe. Jaws. But yeah, no, I believe he live streamed his own event while it was going on and like matched their viewership or something like that. Oh yeah, no. Jaws is still number 1 in MLE world ranking. So I don't want to hear any Jaws slander. I don't want to hear any Jaws slander. Okay. He's only getting better. Okay. Eating is a sport. where age does not discriminate in the great sport of eating. So no, I don't want to hear any of that from Jaws. Jaws is going to shatter records every single time he steps on Coney Island. Every single time
Well, if
he's
he's
going to
allowed back because there's still that contract dispute over
yeah, with
Emily.
the plant vegan based
Yeah.
hot dogs, which hey,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, shout out MLE for taking a stand. I agree. The greatest eater in the history of Earth should not have signed a deal with what is it, plant based? What is that company called? Impossible. He shouldn't have signed one with Impossible Meat. He shouldn't have. It's just it hurts. It hurts the true fans like us who have been following him our whole lives.
Okay. All right. Well, we're the NFL will probably be the last segment of
yeah. No, that was the
episode.
longest NBA segment in the history of this podcast.
That will be the longest segment in the NBA.
No, yeah, no. Let's make it clear.
Like it's not getting longer
announced. Than that. Luka being announced to the Lakers is bigger than anything Luka can accomplish in his Laker career. I want to make that clear.
Yeah,
just breaking him being a Laker is the most newsworthy thing he'll have.
The only way, like, I don't honestly, if somebody had an 100-point game, I don't even know if that would have had us. We wouldn't have spent the whole 30 minutes talking about it like that.
No, because old heads would be like, it's the 3-point ruined. That's the only reason. Like, damn it. People would be discrediting that immediately.
Yeah. God.
Hey, and let's be real, Wilt didn't score 100. I mean, how do we have video footage of Babe Ruth in all of his moments and not one photograph from the Wilt game other than the shower locker room picture afterwards holding up that's the only picture from that stadium? Yeah. Bullshit.
And we have video footage of other things from that time. Yeah.
We have Babe Ruth call his own shot. That would be in that stratosphere of bullshit. That didn't happen.
There's not even
Unless
a picture.
That was recorded,
not even a picture of Wilt like dunking in the game or anything.
No, exactly.
Like, not even a picture.
Now, if there was a picture of just Wilt in game and you could just see he is 9 inches taller than the second tallest player on the court, then I'd be like, that picture's enough to be like, well, he should have. If he didn't have 100, he must be pretty shit. So
then you'd be like, he should have had more than one 100-point game.
Yeah,
he should be the top 10 guys in the scoring rank. Should have 10 100-point games.
He's a foot taller than the next tallest person in the league, and he only averaged 50 a game. How? Like, those would be the questions. But I mean, when you brought that up, yeah, the next 100-point game will be discredited because of the 3-point line. Calling it now. Gonna call my shot like Babe.
Yeah. Okay, NFL. Obviously, we got to talk about the Super Bowl, Grant, and
I mean,
we got to talk about Myles Garrett as well.
And we opened up with the NBA. I mean, tip the cap to the NBA.
The one time that the NBA has done something that has beaten out the NFL.
No, literally,
and it was Myles.
It's the
Garrett,
second time.
Myles Garrett requested a trade today, and that's not even the first thing we're talking about.
An objective on just impact. Myles Garrett is a top 3 player in the NFL.
Yeah,
he is unreal. Crazy.
So let's start with that, and we'll wrap up with Super Bowl talk predictions kind of deal.
Is there any short list on landing spots?
I haven't seen any. I'm staring at one from the 33rd.
So
I'm staring at one from the 33rd, Grant.
Yeah, spitball. Give me some.
I'll give you the odds on these teams. So next odds, if he leaves Cleveland, plus 650 to the Bills. Plus 650 to the Eagles, disgusting. Plus 800 to the Chargers, 800 to the Ravens, not going to happen. It's in division, and plus 1150 to the Cardinals. If the Eagles get Myles Garrett, I'm not watching the NFL ever again. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
What? Hell no.
I mean, obviously, like the Lions will probably be in on that. The Bears will be in on that. If the Lions,
I don't think I am in on that.
I'm going to be honest. If the Lions had Hutch on one side and Myles Garrett on the other side, I actually would be sick to my stomach.
I get it, but I feel like if dealing with the Lions, now I'm thinking Michigan, Ohio beef here, just state line beef.
Yeah.
I think they'd kind of partially just be like, you have to give us 3 firsts. And I don't.
I'll be honest.
Is Miles
If
Garrett
I
worth
were the
three firsts?
Browns,
I
if
don't.
I
I
was the
don't.
Browns, I would say I want Jalen Carter and a first minimum. That's where
Oh
we're
yeah,
starting.
I'm getting Jalen
I'm
Carter
taking Jalen
back.
Carter. Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Carter. I'm not. You're not getting Miles Garrett and Jalen Carter. Not
No,
happening. You
I
can
mean
have Jordan.
it'd be horrifying.
You can
Genuinely
have
would be
Jordan Davis.
horrifying.
You can have Jordan Davis. You
Oh yeah,
cannot have all three of them. Not happening. And
and,
Josh, but not happening.
hey, if you like just watch those Eagles game, Jordan Davis is night or not Jordan Davis.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter is night and day better than Jordan Davis. I know
Yeah.
Jordan Davis is the mountain from Game of Thrones. Okay, that's what Jordan Davis is. He's the mountain. But Jalen Carter is both strong, big, unmovable, and he's faster than your guard. So what do you do then when
Now,
he's
I'll be
faster
honest.
than your fat boys?
I think I think with Khalil Mack leaving Grant, there is a very good
Chargers
chance
could
he
be
ends
in.
up in the Chargers.
Chargers could be in on it. And if
You
I'm
guys
Joe
have the
Ortiz,
assets.
former Ravens player personnel, you're familiar with Miles Garrett. You know what? Yeah, I could see that. And I do think at
You'd
the
give
end of
up
the
your
day,
first round pick. You'd give up your first round pick.
yeah, yes. What? Or take that shit now. I'll give two firsts for Miles Garrett. I would. You let
I
Mac
I
walk.
leg- I think you guys let Mac walk. You get two firsts and probably a second this year.
Miles Garrett also like just signed a extension, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
So
it's like
yeah,
$20 million
hey,
a year or
Chargers
something.
got like 60, 65 cap space. So getting Miles Garrett, I believe would, I don't know, that take 35 of the cap, 40 of the
Say
cap.
about 30. I think APY is like 20s to
Let's say
30s.
35. 35. You know, I'll highball it a little bit. Be a little generous. 35 off the cap, you got 25 to work with. And then you
You get
can
some
now,
corners in there,
yeah,
interior
here's this is the
linemen. You've
corner
got some.
thing about the
Your
Chargers.
centers are both free agents too.
A
You got to sign a
fully
center.
healthy Chargers secondary, they're not great, but it's not the biggest need on the team. Morgan Fox, dead to me. Trey Pipkins, dead to me. Joey Bosa, if you didn't play for Ohio State, you would be dead to me. So let me make that clear too. But yeah, Garrett could be a suitor for Chargers, and I do think Miles Garrett would enjoy a move out to LA from Cleveland. I don't know. I've never been to Cleveland. I know Ohio faithful. I know it's messed up to be an Ohio State fan. You've never been to Cleveland. I mean, what are we even talking
No.
about here? But that could be a potential suitor. I would just say overall though, like a trade for Garrett, 3 firsts. What do we think? Like he is a player that dominant, and
I mean, 3 firsts is like. I mean, he's 29, so that you got to take that into like.
is
But
he
he is
really?
29. Yeah, but like he's the one of the most
Wow.
dominant pass rushers in the NFL and NFL history too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, 3 firsts is like probably I would assume where they're asking. Like, think about the Khalil Mack trade when Khalil was 27. I think that was 2 first round picks and some other
Yeah. Let me
stuff.
look up Khalil Mack Bears trade. Let me look that up.
So I'm assuming a similar trade to that. Probably.
Two
Um,
firsts. Two firsts.
I would probably say 2 firsts and a second is what you're looking at.
Okay. Oakland. Okay.
Now, here's the
Oakland
second question, Grant.
received. Okay.
Here's the second question. If the Browns called you, you're the Chargers. The Browns called you and they say, hey, you can have Miles Garrett. We're asking not 3 firsts, 2 firsts flat, right? But you also have to
What
take on Deshaun
player?
Watson.
Uh, I honestly don't know because you are taking on 70 million in contracts. I don't know.
Like, let's say they call the
But
Patriots.
if
The
I'm
Patriots have
Cleveland,
$120 million in cap space right now. Patriots have $120 million. If you're the Patriots, they call you to say, hey, we want 2 first round picks. You get Miles Garrett, but you also need to take on Deshaun Watson. You have $120 million in cap space. Do you do that? Clearly, he's not going to be the starter because Drake May is there. And Joe Milton is still there too, by the way. But that's the only way you
It's a
get Myles
tough
Garrett.
question. I don't now from Cleveland's perspective, would you rather package these two, get Deshaun off your books as well, getting rid of Garrett, or would the return you get from just giving up Garrett kind of not
Your cap
erase,
is
but
screwed. By the way, I saw
no, no,
this. The
yeah.
Deshaun Watson trade single-handedly washed Nick Chubb's prime and Myles
Oh
Garrett.
yeah,
Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett both were there and didn't do shit with it.
they should be able to sue for defamation of character. Deshaun
It's
Watson
disgusting.
created narratives that they weren't very meaningful anymore, especially Chubb. But I don't know if you're Cleveland would because you're getting 3 firsts for Myles Garrett if you just give up Myles Garrett. Uh, would you be willing to essentially trade one of those firsts away to just get rid of Deshaun? I don't know. I have no idea. Cause like,
I mean,
because
at a
if
certain point, like he's
pretty
going to
much would two
continually be on
firsts,
their books, though. Like that's the
I get it.
problem.
But would 2 firsts and getting rid of Deshaun necessarily make you a contender under Deshaun's contract window? Like, I don't think. Like, I think if I'm the
I don't
Browns,
know, but also here's the thing.
hey,
Here's the issue:
we
is
signed the worst
they're going to
contract in the
keep
history of the league.
they're going to keep pushing that contract over years. They're going to keep restructuring it and moving it over years so they can sign people. So the moment you get them off your team, that kind of goes away.
Yeah,
But
I get what you're saying. But even if they do that, are they in a position to compete?
I mean, do you
Better
do that?
than what they were before. Sure.
I guess that's the whole point, though.
But
I mean, if it is better than it was before.
Maybe if you're the Browns right now, it sounds awful, but
I mean,
maybe you just
the
deal Garrett. You get as many first back as you can.
That's probably
and
what's going to
for
happen. But
Deshaun's contract, you're not competing.
it's probably what's going to happen. But if I think there are GMs Andrew Berry. But if I was the Browns, I would be seeing if I can get
I
somebody
believe
to
the Cleveland Browns
bite
GM
on.
or president of the Cleveland Browns is Jonah Hill from Moneyball.
That adds up. That would make sense with Deshaun. Yeah. But like I'm just looking at teams right now, Grant. Like we're gonna do the water boy odds here instead of the general consensus odds.
When you said Bills, my first thought was like, would they want to have 80 million, 70 million locked up to 2 edges and DeMar Hamlin still your? I don't know. I don't know.
At that point, they might just trade Von Miller in part of that.
Oh yeah,
as like here, eat this.
I don't. If I'm like, hey, every team would benefit out of
Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 100% on that list, but they are in division, so they're not getting him. But they 100% be on that list.
And also, since he's got to resign, like Joe Burrow, I'm not sure if you saw this, but it got leaked the other day from Joe Burrow that I think Joe Burrow said they're re-signing T. Higgins.
But they said they can make it work. They didn't say they are. He just said that they can probably make it work.
All right. So T. Higgins is a Tennessee Titan. Thanks.
But I'd say the Commanders are really high on that list. Like the Commanders have the ability to do that. They need an edge rusher. He's up there.
That'd be really good. That'd be really good.
I'd probably say if I were to just list the teams that I think are most probable based on need and based on relevancy, probably say the Commanders. I would say the Chargers. You're welcome. Put in the Bills. And then I would probably.
Who's the other team you had tied with the Bills at like plus 700, plus 650? Do you remember who just you had another team that I was like kind of interested in?
Yeah, that was the Eagles, Grant.
All right, we won't put them on the short list just for our sanity.
But I mean, I'd probably say Commanders, Chargers, Bills. I would like to put the Bengals, but I don't think that they're going to trade in a division like that.
Yeah,
I'd say the next most likely situation is probably the Lions.
I would say it'll most likely be a team who has the franchise Q in place. Commanders makes the most sense to me. That makes the most sense.
Cardinals, but the Cardinals also the defense sucks. Like you can't just blow your assets like that on them. Like they need other stuff, so it makes no sense.
We'll have this debate later on next year in the season, but I don't know if Kyler Murray's a franchise quarterback. So
I'm gonna give you not on the Cardinals. That's That's the easy answer. Not a franchise quarterback on the
On the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay.
On the Cardinals.
So are you more so implying that Kyler is a franchise quarterback elsewhere, or more so implying that the Cardinals are capable of moving on, getting a franchise Q?
I think more of the second one than the first
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think I think if you put Kyler on the Titans, like
Oh
he's
yeah.
gonna be
No,
their
it's
he's gonna be the franchise quarterback, air
yeah. No,
quotes.
dump
He's gonna make
truck.
the team better than it is now. But I don't think they're winning anything. Like I don't think Kyler Murray is the quarterback that can like some quarterbacks are elite, but they're not the kind of quarterback, or they're good or great, but they're not the quarterback that will actually ever do anything.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's in that list of quarterbacks.
Oh yeah. No. No. I'm with you on that. Great
It's the same
fantasy
thing like
asset.
Dak.
One year
Dak,
he
I
won me
don't
a
I
fantasy
don't
ship.
think
So
Dak is a quarterback that will ever get you to win things like that. And
I mean,
same
I
thing with
just.
Tua, same thing with
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, right now Trevor Lawrence is kind of in that book.
Hey, Herbert's arguably there too. Not gonna lie.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but
I mean, hey, it's true. Hey, I'll say
Kirk
this.
Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins is in that.
Chargers fan collective community, though, as a whole, I'm actually pretty proud of the fan base for now just being like, I defended Herbert when Staley was head coach. I gave him unconditional support because he was being screwed over. But now you can blame him for loss. Like he does not play well in the second half. It is astonishing. It makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um. Okay, so we'll wrap up with the Super Bowl. Um. Grant, first of all, the first thing I want to say is I have I think it's not an insider, but it's like some reporters like they're like doing the scale of like where each team ranks versus each other for like coaches versus like wide
Oh yeah,
receivers
yeah,
versus all
yeah.
this stuff. I'm sure you've
Where
seen this.
let
So
me
they had
I haven't
bad,
seen what they uploaded,
average,
but
bad, average, and elite being the highest side. Okay. And I'll tell you like the category of those three where they within where they placed for each time.
got
So
it.
quarterback, the Chiefs were higher, but both of them were in the elite category. Chiefs were just ranked above. Running back, Eagles was higher,
Elite.
Saquon an
Yeah.
elite, and Pacheco an average. Tight ends, Eagles was higher, and both of them were in elite. So Dallas Goddard, I guess, is better than Travis Kelce, and Dallas Goddard is an elite tight end according to
Who's
this guy.
the second string Eagles tight end? Who's their second tight end?
Calicarda or whatever.
He Calcaterra. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he is a baller.
Calcaterra.
I'll be honest. Noah, I'm not saying Noah Gray's scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but Noah Gray's a good tight end. He is a good, and I'm talking more so blocking. All right, Noah Gray likes to block. All right, receivers. I'm curious. They got Eagles and
Receivers,
elite.
Eagles were an elite. They were higher. Chiefs were an average. Like that actually is understandable. Like I get
Oh no,
that.
it's true.
Offensive line, Grant. Uh, Eagles
Double
were
elites.
higher. Eagles were higher. They were an elite, and Chiefs were right on the line between average and elite. Defensive line, Grant. Chiefs were
Wait,
higher.
wait, is there not one in between average and elite? Is there a
No, it's
good?
just elite, average, bad, and there's just a
Oh,
line separating them.
got it. Okay.
Defensive line. Chiefs are an elite. They're higher. Eagles are on the line between average and elite. Somebody explain that one to me. Linebackers, Grant. Uh, Eagles are higher. They're on the line between elite and average. Chiefs are lower in average. Cornerbacks, just secondary. Both of them are basically tied at elite slash average. And my favorite part, Grant, head coaches. Grant, they are tied on head coaches under elite.
Now, I think they're giving Sirianni a big Dom bump because there's
A
no
big
other
Dom bump.
explanation. There's no other explanation to put crying Sirianni on the same level as Andy Reid. That's blasphemy, as Stephen A. Smith would say.
The I I don't know.
Nick
I don't understand it.
Sirianni. I really thought Eagles were gonna like trip up past couple weeks. You can scapegoat Sirianni out of town, go get your new head coach. Yeah, Sirianni's definitely staying for another year. He might get fired like week 12, but my
He could
God.
literally win. He could. This is explains Eagles fans and just he could win the Super Bowl this year and still get fired by like week 5 next year.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
it is
shit. Look
the
what happened
only
to Dougie
team,
Dougie P.
but it's the only team where you could win a Super Bowl and then be subsequently fired like the next season.
Yeah. Mhm. I love that
So
Doug Peterson is also the only former Super Bowl like active head coach,
he's
former
not
Super
active
Bowl winning
anymore.
shit. But in the mix, okay, you get all right in the mix. He's like the only past Super Bowl like winner that like gets zero credit for winning. Like I feel like Sean Payton is still riding off some coattails of his like 2010 Super Bowl.
No,
Uh,
he is.
like
He is.
Mike
And
Fat
Drew
McCarthy
Brees.
got that
And finding,
Cowboys
sorry,
job.
and finding Drew Brees and bringing him over to the Saints. Like
Yeah,
taking
but
that leap.
uh, yeah, shout out Drew Brees on the Chargers. But yeah,
So let's wrap with this, Grant.
all right.
Who wins score and Gatorade color? Well, I haven't actually done the research on it. We
Oh
might
no,
need
no,
to
we
save
gotta we gotta
Gatorade
go in
bath.
depth on
Gatorade
that. We're
bath
not.
needs to be next episode. I have not looked
Well,
into it.
don't make any rash statements on the Gatorade
Yeah,
color before you've done your research.
I need to do my research this
All
season.
right. A few years back, the Kansas City Chiefs were playing the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Super Bowl. And I remember the year before when the Chiefs beat the Niners in the Super Bowl, I told myself, I will never bet against Patrick Mahomes in my life in the Super Bowl ever again. I will never do it. 1 year later, I bet against Patrick Mahomes on Brady to win that Super Bowl. But this is why I did it. It had nothing to do with narratives. It had
Had to
nothing to
do with
do with
Brady.
vibes. It had nothing to do with Tom Brady.
Oh,
The reason why I picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win that Super Bowl is because both Chiefs tackles were hurt in that game. I thought before it happened, the Bucks were going to get after Mahomes. I don't remember how I'm like, he's going to be a chicken running with his head cut off back there. Like the Bucks D line is about to destroy Mahomes. That's why I picked the Bucks. And then that Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes was quite literally running around for his life the entire game, about to get beheaded by a Bucks defender coming over the
was
middle.
that the jumping side throw that he missed? Was that game where he was like going sideways towards the
Yes,
ground and threw the ball to
it was
that game?
probably the greatest throw in the history of the Super Bowl, and I don't think it was a completed pass.
It was not. It
Yeah,
was
no, it
not.
was the greatest attempt ever. But after after that, these past two Super Bowls, I have gone with the Chiefs both times. But with this one, I haven't done it yet, but this is the first time all season where I've considered the outcome that the Chiefs do not win the Super Bowl. The Eagles D line could get after Mahomes. They could. They have
Well, what about the
the capability.
referees?
Oh yeah, hey, that's a whole other debate. I'm not even focusing on them. But you have to factor that into your final conclusion. But that Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl, the big factor was Mitchell Schwartz, I believe, was out for that game. And I believe the other Chiefs tackle was also out. And so I was like, you have two tackles making their first start of the year in the Super Bowl against this Bucks D line. That doesn't seem like a recipe for success to me. But this time, the Chiefs O line is healthy. They aren't filling in two replacement starters before the Super Bowl. And if you just, I've been following these win rate charts all season like a hawk. Chiefs are number one run blocking team in the NFL. That interior O line, oh boy, Creed Humphrey and Jordan Davis, not Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. That's the matchup for me. Like Creed Humphrey's going to get his wins on Jalen Carter. Like Jalen Carter's not just going to dominate this game. Uh, I'm sticking with the Chiefs on the three-peat. Score. I see this one being 20. I think weird scoring. 26-20 Chiefs.
Okay.
Going weird
I
scoring.
Yeah, you always you gotta kind of assume somebody's missing an extra point here. Jake Elliott
Or
is definitely missing
a two
something.
point, like, hey, I did it last year. The Andy Reid big man touchdown. I will responsibly be
Yeah.
throwing plus
I
2,500 big man
I
touchdown.
think I'm so disgusted. I wish I could say neither team wins, but I think I'm so disgusted at the idea of the Chiefs three-peating that I'm
Fair.
choosing the Eagles to win, which makes me want to vomit almost as equally, but just a little bit less. So I'm going with it. Um, I think Saquon Grant, 137 yards rushing,
On
one
the dot.
rushing, 137, one rushing touchdown, one receiving touchdown,
How many receiving yards?
42 receiving yards.
42 receiving yards. How many catches? I'm gonna say
Five.
three. Five.
Five.
Ooh, I think he's
Screen
gonna be a
game.
little more
Screen
efficient.
game. Screen game.
Okay.
I
Okay.
might go. You could take me down to four. We could take it down to four.
Okay.
So 137 rushing, 42 receiving.
Okay.
Okay.
A good. Okay. I just thought of this prop. Over under 2.5 tush pushes. What are you taking? Over under.
Over because fourth downs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Over.
I think that's an easy over too.
I'm gonna go with. So I already have 14 points there. Okay. I'm gonna say Eagles win. Eagles win. Trying to think of the number. Trying to think of the number right now. 28. Well, no,
Okay.
I actually don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I do.
Okay.
28 to 23.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going for the weird score for this one for sure.
23 is a weird score. 23
No,
itself
that's
is
what
a
I'm
weird
saying.
score.
23. I like the weird score predictions.
Well, actually,
Uh
that's assuming Jake Elliott can make his field goals. So that might not have been a right play. Well, yeah. Yeah,
no,
that
yeah,
that might have been a mistake.
well, I actually think I believe this is Jelliet, but career playoff stats. He has the highest playoff field goal make percentage in NFL history, but he has the lowest playoff PAT success rate in NFL history. So he nails the field goals, misses the PATs, but I even with those, I you could still can you still get to 28? Can you
Well, 28, you just get four
can you
touchdowns.
No, I know, but let's factor in a missed extra point from Jake Elliott.
You
27.
go for two. You go for two.
Yeah.
You get
Okay.
20. You go for
Okay.
two.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be it. You know what? They should run the Philly special for their 2 point play.
It wouldn't be like, I mean, like, it could definitely happen. By the way, everybody forgets Trey Burton. Trey Burton was on the Bears for like 4 seasons, and I have not heard from him. I don't even know what happened to him after that.
Oh my God. I remember Trey Burton being like such a hot fantasy
He was
tight end
so
draftee
hot.
that year and just fell
Yeah.
off the face of the planet.
Cole Kmet arrived, and then I couldn't tell you what happened to Trey Burton. I could not tell you where he went, what happened. Like, no idea.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Just
That's
like
a
that, he was gone. He was a whisper in the wind.
I would say he's a trivia player, but he's not even that well known to be like he's beneath trivia player.
Yeah, you want to know who is a trivia player, Grant?
Oh,
It popped in my mind like 45 minutes ago. Sua Cravens, trivia guy right there.
God. I would say
And
Suak
Shane Ray.
Cravens. I would say Suak Cravens has helped himself out becoming that just because he's makes some media appearances, has a lot of tweets. You get to see him online. But yeah, no, Suak Cravens, yeah, that's just another 5-star to bust at USC, huh? But yeah.
But I think with that, we're probably going to wrap up here. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at EversTakes and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe, turn notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So check us out there as well. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.